Hello, everybody. We're back here live. We're gonna go over some Knickerbocker action. That's not a slur. It's pants. I'm kidding. It's the New York Knicks. The Knicks played against the Detroit Pistons literally last night. Tonight we also have, I think, a back-to-back, not a back-to-back, but still a homestand game against the New Orleans Pelicans, playing off against Zion Williamson. We're just a couple of games out of having Isaiah Hartenstein back onto the rotation, so he's kind of transitioning back over to the starting five. But he had some premier buckets, especially an inside spin move. That was phenomenal to watch. His interior game has improved a lot since taking over responsibilities at the starting five since Mitchell Robinson's absence. And losing him came into a slow gap of losses for the New York Knicks. I think we came over losing 3 straight over in the middle of our deadline. And then we just dominated the Denver Nuggets a game prior. And now we played a close back-and-forth game against the Detroit Pistons. And let me tell you something. It was insane the stretch of games the Knicks have went through. But Monty Williams was just complaining over the final seconds of a Detroit Pistons game at Little Caesars Arena, where Dante DiVincenzo, in the middle of transition and after a turnover from the Detroit Pistons, DiVincenzo dived between the legs of Asir Thompson for the game-clinching pass to Brunson to give it over to Josh Hart to crash over the glass and finish off a 2 until a foul and called over an and 1. And Malachi Flynn was kind of screwed over foul calls. And this is over on home court. The saddest thing is, some of the former Knicks players came to play. Shockingly. If we're looking, Quentin Grimes was 14 off the bench. Off 3 of 6 shooting. That's better three-point efficiency over their past 3 out of their 5 starters. The only breakout performer out of tonight's game was freaking Cade Cunningham, as expected. Now that breaks us short. We did go over a 4-game losing streak against teams that we should have beaten, but it was due over injuries. But it's not an excusing poor play from our bench. And this is the Detroit Pistons, but the Pistons still did what they've done majority of the season. Come up close, but still not with a cigar. In close collision games, they got the talent. And yeah, they were kind of frustrated over the final couple of minutes that there wasn't a transition foul in the middle of Asir Thompson picking up the ball. But Monty Williams, he's saying, what else you got to give? I don't know, better coaching? And we were trailing over by 9 until Cade Cunningham had to carry for majority of the game. Put back, high screens. When he made Brunson get crossed with a sidestepping 3 over in the corner in the middle of the third. Cade Cunningham was the reason they even got up close and personal into the game. Simeone Fontecchio, there's been spurts. He's good over in the rebound. He can crash over the glass. I don't think they have any good rebounding forwards on the Pistons. I feel like they're out of position in the front court. They need a definitive center because I remember when Isaiah Stewart was playing over at their 5 position. Now, he's a good streamy big, but he's undersized at the 5. He doesn't really clash over the glass, and he has a hot temper. And majority of the time, he has inefficient shooting from spacing the floor. So I can understand why Monty Williams took now to not even dress him to hoop. And they got Troy Brown, Shake Milton, even Mike Muscala not even playing. And the only person that even made a difference to close out was Malachi Flynn, that was just cooking. But no fan ones over his finishers around the glass. Evan Fournier, that struck over a 3-pointer off the wing. Good beating off the screen when he was stopping Bojan Bogdanovic. And I guess it was a personal game for also Quentin Grimes, was just shooting over high screens. Finishing around the rim over Precious Achiuwa and DiVincenzo. Getting massive blow-bys. I wish he could produce like that when he was on the Knicks. But it's at least good to see that he's willing to play. Yeah, the Pistons. And I'm going to say it. A win is a win. Although a win is a win. Because Brunson played outstanding. But he could have played a lot better. He 35 points from the field. Got 2 major steals over in the middle of transition. Pistons got a terrible ball movement rhythm going on. They are not a well linked in team to move out the ball. We combined off the starting 5 just 8 turnovers over Hartenstein that I felt like was just glued over to the glass. And he did come over with a total of 8 rebounds, especially over offensively. That linked into good handoff plays off Hartenstein and finishing around the glass. Now I hope he goes back and when he's fully gelled back into the regular season, because he only played 26 minutes. It was rotated out over Jericho Sims that I don't even feel like was that much of a factor. He could grab over the defensive rebounds. He was way better at hustling around the rim for putback twos. Or kicking it out over to his teammates. Alec Burke was only 7 points. Miles McBride had like that one fadeaway jumper, and that was it over 10 minutes of production. And that's technically it. And the only reason Jericho Sims is starting because he's tall and athletic. There needs to be more experience over his game that justifies him to even be playing over guys that could actually produce, like Precious Achiuwa, that rightfully should be playing the 4. He was outstanding. 11 rebounds, got that game-changing tie over the game with that putback under the rim after DiVincenzo missed his chance. And Josh Hart was outstanding. Attacking the rim, he had that fadeaway jumper around the baseline. He was good off the wing over that contested 3 that wasn't a 4-point play, and that was when Trey Burke was open. He was everywhere you need him to be, man. He's been the heart and soul of the Knicks. I understand that's a bit of high praise, but you've seen Josh Hart. He's streaming around the rim. He's been one of our best rebounding guard/forwards on the Knicks. Good off the hustle. Instant link-in plays with Brunson. Good chemistry guy. I swear Knicks fans got to put more appreciation out for Josh Hart as they do with Brunson. I understand we got stars, but if it wasn't for Hart, we wouldn't be a high-scoring team in the NBA. It would just be Brunson and DiVincenzo trucking over in the ball. No disrespect to those guys, but you got to give some respect over to Hart. And he don't even care if he starts or gets benched, bro. And even when he's benched, he's a major contributor on how the offense and defense goes. And he don't care guarding anybody. So I'm going to give major respect. He dropped 23, outstanding from the field today, going 3 of 5. And 8 of 17, marking down also a damn near triple double. He had 6 assists, 5 rebounds. Got some good distributions over to Jalen Brunson to contribute around this game that was nearly trailing by a double digit if it wasn't for the Pistons trailing back over to a close game in the middle of the 4th. It's a controversial finish, but we need to make sure that we're back over the winning streak of games. The Knicks need that momentum to follow under. I know we still got some pivotal guys like Julius Randle that's possibly coming back near the end of the month. OG Anunoby and the Knicks are only falling to 4th best in the Eastern Conference. Not around play-in territory, but need to close up over in the gap because I feel like we got worser teams that have the top seed. And the only team that I don't feel like should be ahead of us is the Milwaukee Bucks, in my opinion. We're only 2 games only behind below the standings to push over in the top seed, and that could get us to play off against the Miami Heat. And I want that conference, and I want that conference semifinal rematch personally, even though I love Jimmy Butler, but I want to see the Knicks make it to the conference finals. I have them as a major contributor, and if they play like this more consistently, the New York Knicks could finally get up to turning some heads. So that's it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed this talk and this recap. Monty Williams should be more responsible off his coaching, because they're possibly one of the worst transition defensive teams in the NBA. There's been times when they can barely help over on the ball, and they're just rolling all over on the floor. No one's helping on defense. We've seen this when they play off against worse teams, top seed teams. Monty Williams obviously can't coach an inexperienced young unit that's obviously expected to tank over for a lottery pick, with only Cade Cunningham being their only potential player to build over around, but that confidence can only get you so far, like LaMelo Ball in the Charlotte Hornets. But there could be potential here. At least they fight over for the game. They barely get blown out. So good luck to the Pistons. I don't think this would be our last meeting against the Detroit Pistons. I think this is our third. I think this is our third meeting against the Pistons.
No.
Excuse me.